And we're live. All right. Good show we're going to have today. Lots of interesting things that we need to talk about. I know we haven't had a podcast in a while, and sorry about that. We've been a little busy. You know how things goes. That's why we can really relate with you guys is that you guys know sometimes we got to take care of some work. You guys got to take care of some work, but luckily we're here to let you guys know what is going on in the world around us. Very important that we stay knowledgeable and that we are here to, more than anything, keep you guys aware of everything that is going on in our community, right? Because there is a lot of stuff going on that you guys may not be told by several local governments out here, local governments that use your tax dollars to do a whole bunch of things that you guys might not know and might not even approve at the end of the day. That's what's important, and that's why we're here to tell you guys and bring some awareness in our community of the situation at hand. So we thank you for joining us, and we appreciate you guys jumping on. Do me a favor before we get started with the good stuff. If you can like this post, share this post, this video, this podcast, we appreciate it. Again, this is episode number 55. And in episode 55, we're going to get into the severance pay that was issued out to the former bridge director, David Salcedo. I know you guys are not going to like this, but we dug deep and we got the information for you guys. And we're going to dive into it and see how you guys feel about how much money was given to the former bridge director, David Salcedo, in severance pay using your tax dollars. All right. So we got a little sheet here that we were going to go over. We appreciate you guys jumping on. We're waiting for a little more people to jump on this podcast. So you guys are aware. Look, all bullshit aside, you guys know you work hard for your tax dollars, for the pay that you take home. The pay that you take home, you have to pay property taxes to different entities. Nobody likes to pay taxes. Let's be honest. This is hard earned money that we get, from either you have a business, you work for a living, what have you. You pay tax dollars on your properties to each local entity out here, right? None bigger than the school district. The school district gets buku money of your tax dollars. That might be another podcast for later, but hey, we have some time. We'll go ahead and dive into that. But the main thing that we want to tell you guys about the situation that's going on is none other than the separation between the city of Eagle Pass and former bridge director David Salcedo. This information was so big, guys. We typically do not like to have podcasts during Super Bowl. Super Bowl. I'm already thinking ahead. During Sunday football, you guys love to watch football. We don't like to bother you guys on Sundays. And Monday night football is important, of course. A lot of you guys are, if you're anything like me, you're waiting to see on these fantasy football Monday games to see how if your team's going to win or not. But we were able to obtain some very important information that we must give you guys, and that's the amount of money that David Salcedo, the former bridge director, was given in a severance pay. Those are your hard-earned tax dollars that are is giving out to somebody that, I mean, I don't know, was he underperforming? Did he have any issues with vendors? Did he have any issues with employees? We have asked for that information, as you guys very well know, and we're waiting for that information to get back to us. We did ask for the severance pay documentation and any non-disclosure agreements that he may have signed. Again, that was told by uh, the media coordinator, Miss Valerie Flores, I believe her name is. Sorry if I got your name wrong, but there is information out there. Of course, other people can report about it, but they don't give you the details. They just tell you this happened, that happened, and hope that you're satisfied. But we got the details. We're waiting for more details, but we can tell you exactly how much David Salcedo was paid in this severance pay. So, for those of you that may not know, severance pay is something that it's not typical. It's not something that every person gets when they're leaving the city. Yes, another one. Um, so severance pay. Let's just start at the very beginning, right? We all know that David Salcedo abruptly left the city. He's no longer there. He was the bridge director. You guys were not happy about his hiring, at least from the consensus that we got from a lot of people, that you guys were not happy with him being hired at the city, given that all the decisions and actions that he took at the county while he was there as the director. I mean, I'm sorry, as the county judge. Now, he was there for quite some time. Not only was a county judge, before that, he was a county commissioner. And before that, he was actually a constable. Not many people know that, but yeah, that's the way it went. And, you know, somebody being in the political office for so long, it brings up questions, right? But now, moving fast forward, just recently he was hired at the bridge or with the city to be the general manager at the bridge. So when he was hired, there was a big controversy about who hired him, who did what, why did they hire him, how come, or why is he getting hired, and there was just a whole big old controversy about the thing. And now, once we peel back the layers of what happened, especially with the mayor race that commenced shortly, after, uh, we learned a lot of things. We learned that more than likely, the one who pulled the trigger were two councilmen. It was a male and a female, one that no longer is there anymore, and there is still one there. The one that is there right now, Councilman Garcia, he was actually at the interview of David Salcedo when he was there. Now, we received notice from another person that had applied and had interviewed at the city for the bridge director job that was very qualified. This was a female. She reached out to us. She was very qualified for the job, guys. Um, some would say overqualified for the job, but she was upset, and rightfully so. She was upset because of how attentive the interviewers were during the interview. I believe the quote was straight from her message, was it was as if they already knew who was going to get hired in that position. Now, I'll leave it to you to think who was going to get hired at the position. I mean, we know who ended up in that position. None other than former county judge, former bridge director, now David Salcedo. So, fast forward, David Salcedo's there for 8 months, only 8 months at the bridge. Why was it only 8 months? Well, that's what we're digging into. The city of Eagle Pass still hasn't gone back to us on our information request, but they do have 10 business days. Keyword. They do have 10 business days to get back to us, and they are still within that time. And, I'm sure the city secretary office is busy with a lot of work that they do. So we understand that it takes 10 business days and public entities have 10 business days. For those of you, and there's a few of y'all that don't know what a business day is, a business day is when that entity is actually working. Okay. Not a holiday, not a Saturday, not a Sunday. Cinco de Mayo, if the business works or if the entity works, it's a business day. For those of you out there that like to watch us that don't know your business days from non-business days, there is 10 business days for them to respond, any public entity. And that's understandable. We're not saying that the city is doing anything wrong. It just takes some time sometimes to get all these public records together. So you have 10 business days to apply, to give out that information, or let the person requesting know why they cannot give out that information. And then ultimately you would get a attorney general's opinion about something if you do not want to release that information. But as we wait for that, we did pick up some very valuable information about how much David Salcedo was paid in this severance pay. Yeah. Fortis is all over it. He says Monday through Friday, which is common sense. Anybody that can read and see that something says business days, it's a business day. Come on, man. Unless it's a holiday. So yeah, it could take 2 weeks depending on when your holiday falls in, right? But okay, moving forward, the 40. I was about to let it slip. I didn't even do a dramatic climax or nothing on that one. So I want everybody, if you want to take a guess, how much do you think David Salcedo was paid in a severance pay? Go ahead and drop it in the comments. Uh, who knows? Maybe we'll give a gift out to somebody that gets it right if we can get one of our sponsors to help us out there. But let me tell you about a severance pay. Severance pay usually is done to somebody that leads the company, somebody that's a CEO. I would expect a severance pay to come out from somebody, let's say a city manager. They get rid of a city manager, he's due some severance pay. Why? Because, maybe he has a contract that he needs to live out. So whenever you have a contract for a city manager, let's say you owe him still 2 more years on his contract, it's 170,000 a year. Do you want to pay him $340,000 in un chingazo? No, nobody's going to pay that, especially if it's taxpayer money, right? So what they do, or what other mechanism they may have, is they can negotiate a severance pay, right? And this is typical for somebody that is in the lead or in charge of a public entity, but more often than not, it's done in the public sector, not in the I'm sorry, in the private sector, not in the public sector. Now, let me tell you, I worked at the city of Eagle Pass for many years. We're talking about close to 15 years. Never in those 15 years when I worked at the city did I ever hear anyone outside of a city manager receiving any type of pay for being dismissed or resigning at that, right? Um, yeah, I've never heard of anything happening as far as somebody receiving some type of pay for them resigning. This is an absolute first for me. And again, many of you guys that follow us, you follow us because we have the experience working at these places. We have the bureaucracy experience. We have the political experience. We have the background to tell you guys without having to do any type of research. Now, we are the most researched news media here locally. I will say that 100%, and I test any other news media to test that. We do our research, we do our investigative uh, process, and we research our stuff, and that's why you guys come and watch us. That's why you guys follow our page, hopefully, right? Is that we give you the information, the correct information, and it's not coming from, we pull something out of our ass. No, we have been in those situations for many years. We've worked in the public sector for over 20 years. We have been involved with different city managers. We have been involved with different entities and their city managers and their leaders. So we've seen a lot, guys. Um, but never once have I seen somebody outside of the main guy in charge receive a severance package. So let's talk about, before we release that information, we have some guests here. We have a guest of 80,000. That's a lot of money, guys. 80,000, that for a severance package, that's a lot of money. We have Vanessa Hernandez saying 20,000. She says that's what got me. And usually you only get one if they get rid of you or if you're laid off. Well, he resigned. That's the official word coming from the city. Now, we haven't had anything other than he resigned and he was given a severance package. The city actually did not release the information and has not, but we will get to that information later, because that's another thing that we need to talk about that may be getting the city into trouble, because they did not come up with this information, or they weren't forthcoming with this information as they should have been. But we'll get to that in a second. The main thing that we need to tell you guys is the information that we have of how much he was paid. And it's going to piss some of y'all off, because me as a taxpayer, it pissed me off. And this is coming from your tax dollars. This is not, oh, the city has some money. No. No. This is your hard earned money being misspent in giving a severance pay that is unprecedented. Now, I'm giving you a little bit of the backstory because we all need to understand how this is something that is totally new. I have never seen it, but guess what? Now everybody will be lining up to ask for a severance pay similar to David Salcedo's. Do you think it was a smart idea giving David Salcedo severance pay? It happened. And, you know, I have a lot of questions about what David Salcedo did with our tax dollars, and he never answered. And I'll ask him again. Hey, David Salcedo, can you tell us who received COVID funds? What businesses received COVID funds? Who were the people that got help during COVID? We received about $10 million in COVID funding, guys, when David Salcedo was the county judge. There was about 1 million that went to businesses and to residents. We requested that information. David Salcedo came up with a story saying it was being investigated as to who got the money, or there was an issue about who got the money, but he never released the names of who got the money and what businesses got the money. It's $1 million that should have gone to you guys. That's $1 million that could have saved businesses that were struggling during the COVID times. But what happened? 1 million was given out to we don't know who, because they never answered our information requests. David Salcedo, maybe you should come clean about that. Where did that money go, David? Could it have gone to him, to his businesses, to his friends, to the people he wanted to benefit? Well, we don't know the answer to that because he did not want to release that information. Let me tell you, those guesses that we were given 80,000, 20,000, those are pretty good guesses. I'll tell you this, it's somewhere in between that. Now, just think as taxpayers, this was a dangerous precedent to set in giving out a severance pay to a department director that it has never happened in recent history ever. Guys, I've been dealing with public entities for about 20 years now. I'm 40 years old. I started working with the city when I was 19, doing the summer programs. I started as a permanent employee with the city back when I was 21. So, I mean, over 20 years of experience dealing with politics, dealing with bureaucracy, dealing with public entities. I know a little bit. We're not pretenders. We're not fake. We're not somebody off the street trying to be a journalist or anything like that. We know where these things are hiding, and we know when somebody does something wrong, whether it's an entity, whether it's a person. We know these things. Why? Because we've been there. It's not that I'm so intelligent. It's just that I've been around so damn long, right? So let me get to this severance pay. In all the time that I've been dealing with the city has never given a severance pay to a department director. And that's what David Salcedo was. He was a department director in charge of the bridge department. Okay. So this was negotiated. Why? Uh, I cannot tell you that information until we gather everything that we requested from the city. And we added to our request, our original request, and we want to see the severance package. We want to see the non disclosure agreement. We want to see, I mean, using a non disclosure agreement to give out public taxpayers' money is ridiculous to begin with. You guys should be livid that the city of Eagle Pass is even employing the non disclosure agreements when they're using your tax dollars to pay a severance pay. It shouldn't be a non disclosure agreement. And I can almost guarantee if we fight that with the Texas Attorney General, he will demand them to release that information because they are using taxpayer funds to pay off David Salcedo for whatever reason. Juan Guardiola says, Isaac, let me put it simple for you. Just look at who we have as a president who does whatever he wants and gets away with it and is. Sorry about that, guys. Let's Isaac, let me put it that simple. For you, just look at who we have as a president who does whatever he wants and gets it, whatever with it. This local politicians have a green card to do whatever they want and gets away with it. Okay. Well, let me and thank you for that, Juan. Yeah, I agree with you. Now, at that level, honestly, I don't believe we have good options. I think that at that level, they just want to help themselves out. I was a strong supporter of Trump when he won, and I've had to walk back a lot of things, not everything, because I do think, in all honesty, we're in better hands with Trump, even though everything that's going on, to the crazy stuff that was happening with the Democrats at the time. Now, there's a lot of stuff that's going to affect us directly because moving forward, our community, a lot of our community deals with people that are um, under the market of how low income. About, I would say 40% of our community, 30 to 40% of our community, which is a large chunk, deals with low to moderate income. And that has a lot to do with our situation as a community, not individual, but there isn't that many opportunities out there. And yeah, I agree with you, Juan, to some extent, is that yes, things are out of our hands to some point, right? And that is something that is going to be dealt with, and it is going to affect us. But here, what I'm trying to say is that it wasn't the politicians that made this happen. Okay, the city council does not or should not participate in employee decisions. That sole responsibility is belongs to the city manager. And that's how this charter of City of Eagle Pass, that's the way the charter is set up. It's the city council is in charge of the legal legal council. They choose who legal counsel is, and they choose who the city manager is. And the legal counsel has their duties. The city manager oversees everything having to do with employees. So what I'm saying with that, and we have a comment from Z saying, "We the people hold the power. We need to remember that," and I agree with that wholeheartedly. But in this case, getting back to Juan's point, it was not the city council who agreed or who said anything about that situation. They It's out of their hands. The only one who could negotiate anything with the employees specifically would have to be the city manager. Okay, Juan Garcia. I would have to disagree with you. I know what I'm saying here. I'm not. Oh, wait. You were tagging about Juan Guardiola. Okay, okay, okay. I'm getting mixed up here. Sorry, guys. Yeah. We do need to stick to the local politics because that's exactly what we are here talking about. So, Juan and Juan, y'all got me mixed up, but thank you for bringing it back down. That way we can talk about what we need to talk about, and it's what's affecting us directly here. What it is that we've never ever, as the city of Eagle Pass, had to pay a severance pay for a department director. What happened is that exactly that. They paid a department director a severance pay for him resigning. The stipulations about that resigning, we don't know. We don't know if David Salcedo did something to a vendor, had a bad evaluation. We don't know if he was leaving to take care of something else. We're not sure about that, and we're trying to get that information for you guys because it's important information. But one of the things you guys need to know is the precedent that this set up. And what I mean by that is that now that this started, now that the city manager negotiated a severance pay for a resigning department director, that sets a precedent from here on out. That means that any department director that may be resigning can go over here and say, hey, you pay David Salcedo this much money. I want to get that money too. And guess what? It's coming out of your pockets. Your pockets. Because the city's money is your money. Now, who's ready to hear how much this guy was paid of your tax dollars? Do we need a drum roll? I'm gonna write it down in a piece of paper for you guys because I think that that would just add more to this. Adds a little more dramatic to the dramatic, right? For those of y'all that like the drama. Any last guesses on how much he was paid in severance pay after he resigned? Anybody else want to throw in their last guess? All right. This is your tax dollars, guys. They got paid off to somebody just because they resigned. Dangerous presidents that they're going. Yeah. Camera kind of shifts it reverse, right? But I'm sure you guys can see, and I'm sure you guys are upset at the way your tax dollars are being spent just as much as I was upset the way the tax dollars are being spent. That is a 4, that is a 0, and there is a big K after that 4 0, guys. $40,000 paid from your tax dollars, your hard earned tax dollars paid to David Salcedo, the former bridge director, after he resigned. Man, whenever I was let go from the city and my resignation and all that happened, I wish I could have asked for $40,000. But why did they give him $40,000? Could it be helpful in a political campaign coming up soon? Could it help him set up a business that he wanted to? What do you think that those $40 were paid for? He spent our county, ZB says he spent our county tax dollars paying a girl that didn't even live here. What can you expect from the man? She's not wrong. Many of you guys remember David Salcedo was paying a phone stipend to a girl that was the planning director while she was off at college getting a degree, keeping her benefits still alive so she wouldn't waste her time with the city. So that longevity pay still came in. Yep. And I can tell you as a fact because I saw that paycheck myself directly. Lando reacts, wow. Who made the decision to hire him and also the decision to get that resignation clause? Well, Lando, I'm glad you asked that question, Mr. Fortis. The reason why I'm glad is that a lot of people may think that it was the city council having to do with this resignation. They think that it was them. They paid him off, and the only thing here, and this is in all honesty, the way the policy is, the city manager is the sole person that can make any employment decision with the employees. That's it. By the charter. Now, many of you all remember there was rumors swirling around back in the day about his hiring. And we have gotten information from somebody that was also interviewing for the job. And, we told you at the beginning of the podcast what she had to say about the interview process. She told us she felt that it was rigged and that they already knew who was going to get the job. So, city manager does make all the decisions when it comes to the personnel, and that's the way it's set up. But the thing is, hey, $40,000 for what? Why would you pay $40,000 of y'all's hard earned tax dollars? You guys pay David Salcedo 40,000. Ustedes todos, all of y'all, including me. We all paid $40,000 for David Salcedo to resign. What? That just doesn't sound right. Now, how much are we going to have to pay if another director wants to leave? Another 40,000? It's ridiculous, guys. It's ridiculous. Now, everybody that's a department director is going to line up. If they want to resign, what do you think they're going to ask for? Give me the money. Show me the money. Shit, that's what I would ask. Now I want to go get a job with the city so I can resign and they can give me 40,000. Right? It's ridiculous. Now, it's one thing to have paid somebody 40,000. 40,000. Which one of y'all could use 40,000 today? Who can use $40,000? Let us know in the comments. Miss Sandra, it was $40,000 of your hard-earned tax dollars. Those tax dollars that you work for every single day that you have to pay the city, there was somebody, and the only one who can make that decision is the city manager. And they gave him 40,000 of your hard-earned tax dollars to leave the city. Let me ask you this question, Sandra, Miss Sandra Rios. Do you think that 40,000 was rigged? Do you think they gave him that money for a reason? Makes you think, doesn't it? Mr. Juan says, Isaac, está todo bien fácil. Desde el principio no querían a Saucedo. Todos saben que el city manager la regó desde el principio por darle trabajo a Saucedo y como Homero la regó tenía que arreglar todo. Por eso el city councilman García está enojado con Homer y en el último junta de la ciudad García le echó a Homer. Okay. So what Juan is telling us there, one of the Juans, right? I'm sorry, Juan Garcia. Juan Garcia is revealing a little bit of information for you guys. Now, it's not anything new. I told you guys that David Salcedo, a lot of you were upset when he was hired. Let's just be honest. I'm not gonna say anything that he's good, he's bad. That's for you guys to decide. I'm just here to give you guys the news. But you guys, and let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. A lot of you guys in the community was upset when he was hired. But looking back at it, it seems real strange as to why he was hired. Now, if anybody knows politics, you know that people that deal with the same people and then those same people go and help another person. I mean, you saw David Salcedo's people helping out Councilwoman Monica Cruz. Am I wrong? I mean, where's the lie in that? We saw during the mayor election, we saw David Salcedo's people out there helping, supporting, donating their time to none other than Monica Cruz the former councilwoman that was running for mayor. Let's be honest about that. That's what happened. You saw that. I saw that. We all know that's what happened. We all know that there was two lone councilmen fighting together, councilman and councilwoman, a couple of months ago. We all saw that. We all know who was there. And we saw these people. We saw these people involved in the situation all together in un grupito. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. All I'm doing is pointing out the situation just in case somebody missed it. But you cannot tell me, or I mean, if you want, go ahead and tell me. But we did see David Salcedo's people supporting former councilwoman Monica Cruz. And, for whatever reason, hey, you support who you want to support. We don't attack people for who they support. You're open to support whoever you want. But when you do that, it's easy to trace back who's who, who's what, this, that, and the other. Now, many people were upset about David Salcedo being hired as the bridge director. Are you guys upset that David Salcedo got $40,000 of your tax dollars for resigning? Let's see. More so the guy that got fired that's suing them for wrongful termination. Yeah, I don't think for any reason David Salcedo would not be able to sue for wrongful termination unless they violated his federal civil rights. And it's real hard to violate someone's federal civil rights. Like, I mean, I've been there, like I'm telling you. With my time at the city, I was voted on by the city employees to be the grievance chairman, right? So the grievance chairman runs the meetings whenever an employee gets written up by their director. And a lot of the times when they get written up by their director, sometimes the director just has it out for them. I'll be honest with y'all. There are some shitty people like that. I mean, just like with anywhere, there is some shitty people like that. It's not always the case. Sometimes the employee, si se pasa, let's be honest. But the majority of the times, whenever I went, if somebody went to grievance, it was because the department director did something that was either out of line or did not follow the process. And I was voted on by employees of the city of Eagle Pass because they knew exactly how I am now. I was like that back then. I stood up for the people that were left behind. And right now, the people that are being left behind are you, the taxpayers. Why? Because one, the city paid a big amount in severance pay to a department director from your tax dollars. Second, the city violated or is in violation of a Senate bill that was just recently enacted in September 1st by not posting. It was SB 2237. The city of Eagle Pass is required to post the severance pay information on their website. And we'll go through their website right now and we'll check if they've posted it, but it has not been posted. Let's go through some comments. We just went through Lando's. Let's see. Christopher Bigley Delgado says, oh, wait a second. I just kind of lost this one. He says, it was a domino effect on that one. My boss, Salcedo, got that bag and said deuces. Y'all know what really happened. Let's be honest. Well, I mean, honestly, Chris, Big League Delgado, he got $40,000 of your taxpayer funding. That's your money too. I know you pay taxes, Mr. Delgado. So he took that and, he resigned. He took $40,000 of our taxpayer funds. That's what happened. And I mean, I don't know how people out there feel about it. I don't want to impose and make you feel some type of way when we're here to give you the news. I can tell you my opinion. What the fuck is the city doing? What the fuck is the city doing? This sets a very dangerous precedent moving forward for any department director that wants to resign. They're going to say, give me 40,000 or I'm going to tell everybody about what's going on here. Ridiculous. I would even say this is undefensible. I mean, how can you defend giving a gentleman like this, David Salcedo, who has a questionable past as the county judge, and then all of a sudden he gets 40,000 for what? Let me tell you, any employee that is not on a contract with the city of Eagle Pass, any employee that is not on a contract with the city of Eagle Pass, the only person that has a contract is the city manager. That's it. No one else has a contract. That includes David Salcedo. So if David Salcedo, the former bridge director, did not have a contract, why are you paying him a severance pay when employees are at will? All employees at the city are at will employees. And if you get fired because of whatever reason outside of what is a federal civil rights, which is age discrimination, sex discrimination, sexual orientation discrimination, all that, discrimination at that level, you're at will. Do they wake up and they want to let you go? They'll let you go. They'll let you go. And, I've been there, done that. But what's different about this case, what's very different is that they paid an at will employee that they did not have to pay $40,000 of your hard earned tax dollars. Let's go to the comments real quick, guys. We revealed what it was. Let's see what y'all think about it. Lando, chalupa y buenas. I'll drink to that. I mean, guys, he took $40,000 of your hard earned tax dollars. Why? He was an at will employee without a contract. An at will employee without a contract. Now, any department director can go ahead and resign and say, I want 40,000. I want 50. I want 20. Man, a very dangerous precedent was set recently. And we want to get all that information out. And that's why we have those information requests. And we included the severance pay when it was listed out there. Now, the city, other than letting it out through their media coordinations person, has been very hush hush about this. Let's go to the comments and we'll show you what the city of Eagle Pass is currently in violation of. Let's get through these comments first because what you say matters and we take your opinion into account. Everybody deserves an opinion, and the Maverick Times is the place to express your opinion without us, coming down on, oh, well, maybe we'll talk a little shit if you're talking shit. Let's be honest. We can do that. But we don't not delete comments. We don't take comments off. We don't block people, none of that. Especially if you're coming from a real account, que tienen los huevos puestos. That's what we appreciate, and that's what y'all appreciate from us, right? Let's see. Joey, don't forget everyone turned on Monica. Rolli's people, it's politics. You take anyone's help. So I think Joey's revealing a little bit here, and Joey's revealing the connection that was existent by David Saucedo and Monica Cruz. And like we said, Joey, I understand where you're coming from. It makes sense, but I wouldn't want help, and that's just me. I'm. This is my opinion. My opinion. We like to give facts, but I'll tell you what I think. You can, push it to the side. You can agree. You can not agree. But if you're going to be with anyone in the political spectrum, let's say I'm going to run for, I don't know, county commissioner all of a sudden, right? This is just a for instance, guys. But if I was going to run for political office, I would get people that share the same values that I have, the same integrity that I have, the same transparent nature and truth that I always try to give you guys. I would want to align myself with somebody that shares their values with me or that align with the same values that I have. Now, if you're trying to say you're an honest person or say you're a fiscally responsible person, why would you align yourself with somebody that has a shady past as an elected official? And, I'm well within my right to say that former county judge David Salcedo has a shady past because we've dealt with him directly. We worked under his administration when he was the county judge. That's why we left. That's why we resigned. And let me tell you, I didn't ask for a severance package because why are they going to pay me for resigning? And I didn't resign from the county under David Salcedo until I got y'all $1 million in grant funding. Now, the reason why I say David Salcedo did some shady shit when he was the county judge is because I know he did some shady shit when he was the county judge. And I say that in full confidence. He did some shady shit. He was paying quote unquote county planner a cell phone stipend while she was out getting a college degree. Wasn't even in the city, wasn't even in the county, but was getting paid a cell phone stipend. For what reason? I can tell you, in my opinion, I don't think that person or that lady was even qualified to be a planning director. And I say that in all confidence because I've worked with her in the past. That's what happened. Now, we can go back again. Hey, David Salcedo, where is the $10 million that we received as a county of COVID funds? 1,000 was supposed to go to businesses. 1,000 went to businesses and residents, yet they cannot provide what residents, what businesses were the ones that got paid that money. I'll even tell you who was on that board. County Commissioner Jerry Morales. Everybody should be asking County Commissioner Jerry Morales who got COVID funds as far as businesses and individuals. Because Jerry Morales was appointed to that board of COVID funding that determined who received the funding for businesses. County Commissioner Jerry Morales was one of them. He was on that board. There was no minutes taken. There was no documents. And David Salcedo, when he was the county judge, refused to release the information on which businesses receive COVID funding. Did y'all receive COVID funding? No, you didn't. Nomás los compadres. Do you think that's fair? While y'all's businesses were failing because of COVID, while you were sent home from your work and not receiving income, these guys had their own little club of non-transparency, choosing who receive COVID funds. Let's get back to these comments real quick, and we're going to show you what the city is in violation currently and has not yet fixed. Let me get back to this question real quick. Joey, why do you think everybody turned on Monica? Let's answer that question, Joey. Why did people turn on Monica? Was it because they did not align with her values? Was it because they didn't like the direction the city was going under her leadership? Can you tell us what you think on that end? Next comment from Johnny C. El Capitan. Severance does not work like that. It's based on yearly salary and how long you work for the company plus any other benefits. If you're a good employee, I have personally gotten a severance package and was able to negotiate. So 40K is not that much for someone. Is not that much for some, but I don't know his salary. But what do I care? Just listening to get the chisme. Carry on. The only thing is that Johnny C. El Capitan, this isn't chisme. No somos chismosos. We come with the receipts. We come with everything you need to know to make the determination yourself. Esto no es chisme, güey. Es la verdad. Al chile. Con los pinches huevos en la mano. We tell you how it is and what it is. We ain't got to do chisme. We ain't got to do none of that. The fact is that David Salcedo, the former bridge director, got paid $40,000 in a severance package. $40,000 of your hard-earned tax dollars. He's an at-will employee without a contract. They didn't have to pay him money. The question should be is why they paid him money. Why did they negotiate $40,000 in taxpayer funding to pay a bridge director that, one, did not have a contract, two, is an at-will employee? And we are getting his records to see if, maybe he got into it with a vendor, maybe he got into it with somebody. We don't know. We don't know. That's why we ask for records. So we can tell you, not the chisme, but the facts. So I appreciate if you get that shit right, Johnny C. El Capitan, whatever. So why don't you talk about what is going on currently in the possible $7 hike? Hey, I don't agree with that either. Now, who was the one who proposed the $7 hike or the $2 hike in the bridge? Because what I saw was David Salcedo doing the proposal. Now, if you guys don't like it, I don't like it, talk to me about it. Let's put it all in these comments so the city council can see that we're paying too damn much already as is. But one thing I will tell you is the fact David Salcedo was the one who proposed the hike that you're talking about, Joey. David Salcedo was the one who proposed this to the city council in the first reading of it. That's the facts. That's the truth. So, yeah, we don't like the $7 city council, mayor. Please work on that. We are all working as much as we can on our hard-earned dollars, and as for somebody that takes advantage of going to Mexico for cheaper pricing on healthcare, on groceries, on other services, personal services, we don't want to pay that extra fee. Thank you, Joey, for that. We appreciate it. Because it's very true. $7 is fucking ridiculous for the bridge, guys. Fucking ridiculous. And I'm glad you guys are upset about that, because so am I. But right now we're tackling the $40,000 that they paid to somebody for what? $40,000 of our tax dollars funding just gone. Let's not forget the 57 South and how much, what was it, 2.3 million fumble? Jeez. I meant the other guy, finance, forgot his name. They got fired. I don't think he got a severance package. No, he did not. No, he did not get a severance package. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, and hey, look into why he got fired. One of the things that I would say in his petition, he said, or he alleged, that somebody from the city council told the acting city manager, Ivan Morua, and Ivan Morua went to Jesse Rodriguez, the former finance director, and that you were the ones that he mentioned that he was given a directive. Now, an acting city manager can only receive a directive from, you guessed it, the city council themselves. Was it Monica J. Cruz, the former city councilwoman? Was it Mario Garcia, the councilman? We can't really tell you. Only, acting city manager Ivan Morua. But according to the petition, that's what Ivan Morua, the acting city manager at the time, that's what he said. He said, I was given a directive to let you go. And yeah, of course, Jesse, the former finance director, Jesse Rodriguez, did not receive a severance package. Maybe he should have asked for one. I wonder if David Salcedo asked for the severance package, or it was negotiated straight out from the gate. That's an interesting thing that we should find out, right? Going through these comments, guys. Thanks. We appreciate the interaction. Right now, bear with us. We're going through these comments, and then we're going to show you the city's website and how they're in violation of SB 2237 that was effective as of September 1st. Stay with us. We appreciate your time. We know Monday Night Football is going on. Can somebody give us the score for Monday Night Football in the comments, please? See, just saw a post on Compre y Vendo about how all the city manager's family is involved with the cartel, and his own dad was accused of murder in another state. How is he the city manager? I mean, none of my business how possible that the mayor allows this to get rid of him too. Now, I cannot speak about the city manager's family. Again, I'm just, that's something that maybe needs to be researched. I don't know that directly. Um, so, I mean, I can't speculate on that. We'll just move on from that comment. And it is what it is. If something like that's going on, it may need to be investigated and see what's happening. But as far as I know, I mean, I've never heard anything like that, but I could be wrong, Jose. Um, and we'll look for that post on Compre y Vendo, and we'll see if we can get to the bottom of it. So what's the severance? The severance pay was $40,000, Bruce. $40,000 was given to David Salcedo when he resigned. Again, that's something that we have never seen in our time with the city, in our time in public. Usually, if they give you a severance package, it's because you have a contract or something like that, and they're trying to negotiate it down so they don't pay you the entire amount of the contract. But in this case, David Salcedo, the former bridge director, did not have a contract and he was an at will employee, yet they negotiated $40,000 to be paid out to him for resigning. Juan García says, esto fue culpa de Mónica Cruz, Mario García y el pulseras de Billy Davis. Le han haber dado dinero a Saucedo para que no hiciera problema y se fuera sin demandar. Now, see, there would be no precedent or there would be nothing for David Saucedo, at least that I know. There was nothing that David Saucedo would have been able to sue. Why? Because there's no, at least to our knowledge, there was no civil violation, federal civil rights violation. Again, guys, the only way you can sue if you're an at-will employee is if they violate your federal civil rights, which would have to be age discrimination, sex discrimination, race discrimination, sexual orientation discrimination, things like that. That is the only thing that could violate or could get you some compensation if the public entity violated your federal civil rights. Other than that, Texas is an at-will state, and if you get fired in Texas under that at-will state, in other words, you do not have a contract and you're an at-will employee, you don't get paid anything. That's why this typical situation, especially given the background of the former bridge director David Salcedo, has to raise an eyebrow. It has to raise up questions. This is your tax dollars that were spent. $8 months for $40K. Can you show us how to do that? Or send us some links to apply at the city. Yeah, Joey, that's what I'm talking about. See, I mean, guys, there is nothing else that I can say. He was an at-will employee. He was not on a contract. He was there for 8 months, resigned, and got $40,000. Joey, I'll send you the employment link because I'm applying for a few department director jobs too. Hopefully, administration is still there so we can get paid out 40,000 K for being there 8 months. And, I don't know what David Salcedo threatened. If he threatened anything, we don't know. Again, we have asked those records and we are going to show you all those records as soon as we get them from the city. Christopher Bigley Delgado says, preach Isaac, exactly what is the new administration of the city doing? It's not a new administration, Christopher Bigley. I think the city manager has been there for a while. But I don't know what happened. I don't know the situation that led up, but this is something that has never happened. It's unprecedented, right? And what's worse is that it sets a precedence moving forward to where department directors are going to start coming, hey, I'm going to resign, give me money, or I'm going to do this. And they're going to pay them your tax dollars, Bigley. I know you pay taxes too. And no one likes paying taxes. But what's the worst part of paying taxes is when our taxes are being abused or misused, right? I mean, if it's being paid for our community to be great, then I'm all for it. At least they're using it for our community to get better. But if you're using it to pay $40,000 to a former county judge that was very questionable about how he administered funds in the county, that has to be some kind of concern for you guys. Again, Christopher Bigley Delgado says, damn, exactly what is the new administration of the city of Eagle Pass doing? Why did the mayor and city of Eagle Pass approve that without lack of knowledge on them? Because they pay taxes too. Well, let me correct you there, Christopher Bigley Delgado. The Mayor and city council do not decide on personnel decisions. They do not decide personnel decisions. Now, when I say personnel decisions, what I'm saying is employees. The city council and the mayor do not get involved and should not get involved. There's a big old policy. There's a charter. That's the way the city was made. They are not supposed to be involved with employee decisions. They were not the ones who negotiated with the former bridge director David Salcedo for that $40,000 that he was paid out. That they shouldn't have, as per policy. So this actually goes, when you say administration, that actually means the city manager and his team. That's administration. When you say mayor and city council, that's the legislative governing body of the city. Two different things. Paco Jr. comes in with 40,000. That's 2 years of salary for most. Yes, in our community, you're absolutely right. That is sometimes 2 years of salary for some people out there, and 1 year of salary for half of for some taxpayers. I say money well spent to get rid of him. Again, Paco Jr., we're not sure what was the stipulations or what was the situation as to why, but we do know that he was paid $40,000, a huge lump sum. And we're going to get back to that because the city may have violated with paying him that much of money. Stay tuned. We're not there just yet, Paco. Anyone that gets anyone that gets endorsed by El Latino, El Latino, is an automatic loss. Look at the guy's track record recently. Yeah, guys, I don't like to talk about, well, yeah, I do, but we try not to talk about other news media because we're giving them free advertisement. But the Latino, we all see las patadas de ahogado que está dando, throwing lies everywhere, see where they stick. But you guys are smarter than that. I know the people that are on here watching us today, all 50 of y'all, spread about uh, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. 50 y'all live. I appreciate y'all. Y'all don't know how much I appreciate you guys because you guys continue to come back and watch what we give you. And there's a reason for that because we don't pretend. We're not playing journalism. We're hitting y'all with the truth, the facts, and the complete story of what's going on, not just headlines, tidbits, and bullshit. All right. But this person right here, I will say, están tirando patadas de ahogado. This publication was stealing practically. Well, let me walk that back. Was taking y'all for y'all's tax dollars. Over 100,000 in a couple of years from the school district. Guys, we need to stop these people stealing our tax dollars, abusing our tax dollars, and misusing our tax dollars. We do not have parks. We do not have equipment. We don't have a lot of things because these situations happen where El Latino is getting paid off by the school district, the superintendent, Samuel Mijares, paying him almost $1,000 a week for a newspaper that spreads what, 200, 300 distribution? Who actually reads El Latino? Nobody. How are they getting $1,000 a week from our school district? Again, your tax dollars misused, your tax dollars being abused. And it's the same people that is doing this stuff. We need to wake up and we need to, guys, the only reason I say it is because it's your money. It's your money. It's not their money. It's your money. It's not Samuel Mijares' money. It's not the city manager's money. Why are they using it like they're playing a game of Monopoly? That's what they're doing. El Latino got $120,000 in a couple of years from them. Almost 1,000 every freaking week. For what? Who reads the Latino? Look, let's do a quick survey. If you guys read the publication El Latino, please post in the comments that you read the Latino. We want to get a count of people who actually read El Latino so we can see. And hey, if you guys read the Latino, that's fine. That's fine. But make it make sense. Make it make sense. If they're a good publication that gets distributed around, then okay, I understand why Mijares is paying for them. But if they're just paying to hide and bury skeletons, to not bring out the truth about what's happening at the school district, and we all know the bullshit that's happening at the school district, guys. I don't have to tell y'all, which we probably still will, but there's a lot of bullshit happening at the school district. Juan García, Lando Forti, sí, tienes mucha razón, pero esta gente no entiende. Refill. Y los políticos con degree y todo y no miran nada. That's Lando. We got another one from ZB. You cannot tell me he deserved 40K. How long was he there? Guys, he was there 8 months. He got 40,000. But right now, we're going to show you in a little bit how the city may have violated, again, the SB 2237 by giving him more money than they should have. So, what is he hiding, Rick? That's a good question. I want to know. That is the reason why we have requested all the information of his personnel file, including we just added something to that. We want to see the severance package and any documents that pertains to the severance package, and we also want to see that non-disclosure agreement. Think about it, guys. Why is the city using non-disclosure agreements when they're using your tax dollars to pay somebody? Whenever they use your tax dollars in anything, it's open records. Why are they hiding something with a non-disclosure agreement? That is a question that you need to think about. Another question you need to think about is, why did they pay David Salcedo, the former bridge director, $40,000 of your hard-earned tax dollars? Why did they pay him those funds when they did not have to? He was not on contract. He's an at-will employee. There's no reason why the city of Eagle Pass should have paid him $40,000. Yeah, I went to high school. Joe, this is Joey Carmona. Yeah, I went to high school with all those guys. The boys' club needs to be broken up. The city will never change if it is not. All those guys do not care about the city. Joey, what year did you graduate? Just so we can have some context as to who you're talking about. Shit, I want to know too, Ricky. I want to know too what's going on. And that's why you guys can count on us to submit those public records and find out, get to the bottom of this shit. Because $40,000 in your hard earned taxpayer money, that's a lot of funding, guys. Why did they give him 40,000 when he was not on contract and he did not have, he's an at will employee? An at will employee, you don't pay a severance package to. How much of an increase is that? Ooh, the bridge, I think it's $2 if you don't have the card, the prepaid card, and it's $1 if you have the prepaid card. So, yeah. Either way, I don't like it. I hope you don't. And if you don't like it, let's make some noise so we can get that stopped. Pocketed money, bro. I mean, I can't say something like that. I am glad you are. But as a news media, I can't say something like that without proof. We're not gonna call out people without the proof. That's just w- w- we just can't do that, right? But hey, there may have been something that's going on that we do not know, but we can definitely try to get to the bottom of it because I know you guys are very concerned about the situation, and that's what we're here for. We're here to get to the bottom of all this bullshit. ZB says it started with Madera hiking up the bridge toll years ago. Now it seems to be a requirement for all the bridge directors. Ouch. Hey guys, we need to get to the bottom as to why. And I don't know. Like I said, it was David Salcedo that proposed the bridge hike for $2 from 4 to 6. But if you got the prepaid card, it would be just one. Again, I don't agree with any of that. If you guys don't agree, post it on the comments. Say something like, we will not pay extra bridge toll. I don't know, something like that, guys. Hashtag that shit. Let's get a movement going, and hopefully the city council and the mayor listens to us, and they you know, we don't want to pay that extra toll fee. Eso sueña a demandas. Suena a demanda. What exactly were you asked? What did you reference that? We're a little bit late on the comments, guys, so I'm sorry. Salcedo 8 months and the other guy many years. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. 28-21 Lions up. Oh man. Um Lions are up. Let me see. So they scored on them. What I want to know, how's Jared Goff doing? How's Jared Goff doing, Joey? Does he has a couple of touchdowns? I needed the Lions defense to do bad, and I needed Jared Goff to do bad as well in one league. I was barely hanging on. Also, the kicker for the Lions, it looks like there's no field goals, so he only has 4 extra points. So that's 4 points. So I'm up in that league. Thanks, Joey. I think Chris also helped us with that. Christopher Bigley Delgado, thank you again. Um, we're checking up on the kicker from the Lions. How many points does he got, or what has he done? It looks like only 4 extra points. How did Jared Goff do? And how did the Lions defense do? They gave up 3 touchdowns, so I guess they might be iffy. If you guys can help us out with that, I haven't even checked. I'm a little worried about that, but as soon as we get off, I'll be definitely checking the score of the game and how my fantasy players did. Ya gana. Fortis, is it all three? Did I win all three? Did I sweep? Let me know, Fortis. Appreciate that. No vale verga eso. Enfócate en ese tema panzón. I don't know who that was to Juan Garcia. Porque yo no soy el panzón. So I guess you weren't talking to me. Next comment. That's a nice golden parachute for EP. I mean, $40,000. That's an employee. That's 2 part-time employees that could help you, do a lot of things. Yet he received $40,000 on a severance pay. What? I don't know what's going on. How much money did he steal from the other position prior to being bridge director? Well, that's kind of funny that you ask. That's undetermined. I wouldn't say he stole money, but there was a lot of iffy decisions. Again, the biggest one was the COVID funds. When David Salcedo refused to release the records on what businesses received COVID funding. He refused. We never got those records. He defied what the Texas AG said in saying that he had to release the records. He came up with all this bullshit, and that one we'll be looking out. Just keep that one in mind. We'll bring up those records again. Maybe we'll be able to uncover something now that he's not the county judge. But when he was the county judge and we received COVID funds, there was only 1 million that was used for individuals and businesses, and he refused to release those records. Now, if you want to find out who got that funding, asked Commissioner of Precinct 1, Jerry Morales. He was a part of the board that decided who got the COVID funds between between the businesses and individuals. Jerry Morales was in those meetings. Commissioner Precinct 1. I would like to ask him the question, where did you who got those funds? Because David Salcedo did not want to give us that information. How much money did? Oh, we already said that one. Hola, Uriel from Juan Garza. Okay, guys. Um, yeah, the city manager and upper management need to be out under a microscope and audited. Maybe. I just I hate to second guess the city manager because I've never been a city manager. Full disclosure. Um, but have I been in a capacity to deal with the same kind of stuff? Yes, absolutely. Um, but it is very strange that a employee that is at will, an employee without a contract, received a 40,000 severance package. It's kind of funny. Fortis made the point is that why didn't the finance director receive something like that, especially since the finance director brought out a lawsuit following that. So, I mean, and then they use a non-disclosure agreement, which again, we don't think that that should be valid for a city to use. Reason being is that they're using our taxpayer funding, your tax dollars are paying Salcedo. You paid Salcedo off, not the city of Eagle Pass. You paid David Salcedo off. For what? Sergio, thank you. Talk to my hand. I like when you guys interact with each other. It's funny. He must have some dirt on someone. It could be. It could be. Or someone has some dirt on him. That doesn't make sense. The severance pay doesn't make sense. I thought it was politics. Well, I mean, Christopher Biglia, I wouldn't say it's politics just yet. That's why we're digging into it. But the way things are structured and are supposed to work, it is the city manager that's in charge of employment or employees, and then the city council is in charge of the city manager. And that's just checks and balances. So there is no, diddly daddling or dabbling or whatever you want to call it. That's the way the city charter is written. Again, you get this information from somebody that is experienced, researched, and educated. It's most important. Get your sources, get your information from somebody that's educated, someone that has experience, someone that is researched, and somebody that knows what they are talking about, not just jibber jabber, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I think this. Oh, I think that. Yeah, that's all wonderful and everything, but you can think whatever you want without having context. We provide you the context. Juan throws out a little emoji. Uh, ZB, we shouldn't have to pay to get rid of him. He should have been there. He shouldn't have been there to begin with. Our community needs to come together and start making changes ASAP, starting with the ISD and the city. Wow, what a statement there, right, guys? You guys have been following us, and you know that we have been steadily on the EPISD because of so many things that are being done incorrectly there. And we're just following up with this big news that's come out, and nothing bigger than the city refusing. Well, I don't know if the word refusing is a little strong, but they have not provided the information of the severance pay like they should have. Bro, you have more followers than him already. Oh, of course. I mean, we had up to about 50 live viewers just a while ago, shattering anybody else out there that is trying to do podcasts. And we were doing these podcasts 5 years ago. 5 years ago, as a rising Texan, we were shut down by those that didn't want us to speak. But from the ashes, we rose up again with the Maverick Times, and we refuse to be shut down. We refuse to be silent. We will tell you all what is going on because you should know what's going on. There should be full transparency. The good, the bad, the ugly, you should know about it. That way, you make the correct decisions whenever you go and vote. And whoever you vote for, I don't tell you who to vote for. All I say is make educated decisions. And you guys, the people that follow this podcast, that follow our news, I can tell you, hats off, hands down, you guys are the smartest, most intelligent people because you come on over here with an experienced, a researched, an educated person that is not afraid to tell you the truth. Internet hangover. Who is getting a kickback from that 40K? Mm. What are other bridge charges? That's a good question. That is an article that we are developing. I think that it's very important to know what other bridges charges compared to our city, and also not just what other bridges charge, but the routes. So the whole point they come through the city of Eagle Pass is to hit 35. And that's important to know. Get 57, hit 35, because not many other cities that have bridges have the same corridors that we have or the same route that we may have. That comes to a lot of why the city of Eagle Pass's bridge has boomed so much. Not just that, but also the pricing that the bridge has. That has made a big difference in why we receive the influx of traffic that has ultimately gained revenue for the city. Now, what happens when we overcharge? Like is being proposed by the former bridge director David Salcedo? The traffic dies. They're going to go through Del Rio. They're going to go through Laredo. They're not going to come to Eagle Pass. And that's just the truth. Un huevo y la mitad del otro. The city is only increasing the toll for non-commercial vehicles. It's okay. They should have raised the commercial vehicle toll first. Remember, the clock is ticking until Puerto Verde opens its commercial bridge, and Eagle Pass will lose money from that gold mine. You know what? Let's leave Paco's message out there because Paco, god damn. And guys, if you guys haven't followed Paco Jr.'s page on Los Puentes. He's running a good page or a group that tells you about bridge crossings, everything having to do with the bridge. This right here is golden. This is a golden nugget from Paco Jr. And he is absolutely fucking correct. Like, let me put my mic down. Let's put this mic down. And let's put up a nail. Pat, pat, pat. That's Paco Jr. hitting the nail on the head with this comment. Paco, you're absolutely fucking right, Paco. Why would the city hit the residents, the people that use the bridge, the non commercial vehicles? Why would they hit that knowing that possibly they're going to lose the commercial traffic anyways? Because the Puerto Verde bridge is designated for commercial traffic. So why would you hit everyday crossers like you and I You and I, this audience, me included, we go to the bridge, we go to Mexico to get haircuts, we go to the bridge to get groceries, we go across the Piedras, to get our dry cleaning, we go to Piedras to have a nice dinner, right? And the reason why we go to Piedras is to save money. That's why we go over there, to save money. Now, why would you raise the non-commercial vehicles? Especially because the commercial vehicles you might lose. Why not take advantage of that? And why hit the everyday residents like me and you that are crossing? That's a hell of a point, Paco. Thank you for bringing that up, bro. Again, if you guys haven't followed Paco Jr.'s, I'm sorry, Paco, please drop the name on there. Los Puentes, this guy's all over it. He has a network that's growing all the time. They let you know about how the bridge is, if there's a lot of traffic on there, if there's if there's anything happening at the bridges, Paco and his team are all over it. I urge you, Paco, please drop the name on there, or tag it. If you can tag it on there, that way people can just press and start following the great stuff that you're doing out there and letting us know what's going on with the bridge, and keeping us informed about the situations that's happening out there. We appreciate that, Paco. Joey, I have someone funds. I hope someone funds a campaign promoting people not to cross through Eagle Pass. That would really send a message and hurt them where it matters. I mean, yeah, I didn't understand that. Like, why? I mean, I didn't realize it until Paco said, but why hurt the everyday person that's crossing trying to get a better deal? You may lose commercial traffic very soon with the Puerto Verde. Why not hit up the commercial traffic that is using this now that you may lose in the future? It, yep. Lando, shit, the only one that has more followers is Eagle Pass News Leader and EP Texan, and you barely have a couple of years in the game. Much respect. Yeah, everybody likes to see traffic accidents. Um, the newsletter has been around a long time. Uh, they're doing their things. We try not to mess too much. They're juggernauts on Facebook. I'll say that they're juggernauts on Facebook. The only thing that sets us apart from those medias that you're saying, Lando, is that our website is the top Eagle Pass, Maverick County, Southwest Texas website. And I say that in full confidence. Uh, Nobody has the website digital news like we have it. And I can tell you because of the numbers that we have, and I'll challenge anybody to post our website numbers out there. We are the website, the Maverick Times News, www.themavericktimesnews.com, is the website you go to for news about Southwest Texas. And that comes from people in San Antonio, in Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, Laredo, Del Rio. If you want to know anything about going in our region, the website you log on to is the Maverick Times. It is what it is. Facebook is great and all, but it's limited to people that get on Facebook. And we're there too. Don't get me wrong. We got about 35, 34, somewhere around there in the low 30s of followers. Nowhere near Eagle Pass News Leader, nowhere near Eagle Pass Texas News, but they have been doing this longer than we have. Of course, I'm biased, and I will always say we are the best news media out there. But I can say with full confidence, without bias, our website, www.themavericktimesnews.com, is what people outside of Eagle Pass read. It is what people in Eagle Pass read. That's just that's just the truth, and we have the numbers, and we'll go toe to toe with any website, news media here, And I pride myself on that. I pride myself because we do put a lot of work into it, and we're going to make even more changes coming up soon, so you guys be ready for that. We're always looking to modernize, and we're always looking to make better. We're never satisfied with being basic, guys. That's one thing that you can guarantee with me, is that I always want to do better for you guys, so you're well informed and have everything you need to make decisions, where to go to school, how to pay your taxes, where to do business. That's what we want to bring. I do want to share with you guys. Recently, we have been receiving the Eagle Pass and Del Rio housing market forecast, and a shout out to the San Antonio Board of Realtors that reached out to us. Yes, guys, the San Antonio Board of Realtors reached out to the Maverick Times so we can bring you directly from them the Eagle Pass housing market and the Del Rio housing market. If you guys look at our recent posts, we did post that on there. You guys can know what your average houses are being sold at, what the market value of these houses are being sold at, and how many houses per month are being sold. So we have the August one up already, and we anticipate the San Antonio Board of Realtors sending us the report for September within the next couple of weeks. If you don't follow us for nothing, please follow us for that. I mean, again, guys, our website is growing daily, and it's reaching people outside of here. So if you want to advertise with us, uh, there's people from outside of state reaching out to advertise in our market. So we just want to drop that little nugget on you guys. If you're interested in doing some business, we're always available and ready for that. Um, Comments and the most accurate information. Thank you, Miss Sandra Ortiz. And you're absolutely right. We pride ourselves on being researched, educated, experienced, resourceful. That's what we bring you, the difference from everybody else. Everybody charges less than five except for one. You can cross for free in three places: Falcon, Amistad, and more. Now, you tell me, are you going to want to cross here in Eagle Pass? Eagle Pass is the most expensive, even more than California, which California is expensive as fuck. Yeah. And I will say this: California, stay in California. Don't come out here to Texas. We like our Texas the way it is without Californian experience. Those of you that are here, the small portion that we can stomach, you guys are good. It's the other ones that go back to California, stay in California. We don't want you here. Far is the only town that charges $5 now, and Presidio you can cross for free. Yeah, guys. Well, so without making this a little bit longer, because we know it's getting late, we want to show you guys real quick the City of Eagle Pass website. Let's check if they are advertising. So here's the City of Eagle Pass, and with SB 237, it says that the City of Eagle Pass is supposed to advertise. Let me read you exactly what it says. A political subdivision shall post each severance agreement in a prominent place on the political subdivision's internet website. So what that says is the City of Eagle Pass should be posting the severance pay that was paid out to somebody in a prominent place. Now, me that I have a website, I can tell you what a prominent place would be is your homepage. The very first page you see whenever you go to the website. So we're here, as you can see, in the cityoferaglepass.com or eaglepasstx.gov. Let's scroll down and see if we see this anywhere. No. No. City spotlights, maybe? Mm, no. No. Hmm. So let's see, maybe in the city secretary's page where a lot of people go. Maybe this might be a prominent place, but mm, no. Um, Maybe the city manager's page. Um, that's a big no too. Okay. So, I mean, you guys are seeing this. Now, what SB 2237 just said was that a political subdivision shall. Now, that word is very important. When you shall do something, you have to. It's not may do something, it's not could do something. It says a political subdivision shall post each severance agreement in a prominent place on the political subdivision's internet website. Now, we have showed you prominent places on this website, and there's nothing on there about the severance pay. We know because, again, we're researched, we're intelligent enough, we have experience, and we have people that we talk to, guys. There's several people in each entity that are willing to talk to us that remain confidential. But that is what we have over everybody in news media, even the pretenders and the fakes. We have people that are willing to talk to us and that can confide in us. They trust us. And that's important when you're talking about a news media, especially now with all of the corporate news medias or the ones that try to be so professional. They're all fucking lying to us. But you guys know who to trust. You guys know who to come to for facts. So, and we can show you this 277, right? Let's show you that right now. Um, I mean, that way you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And you guys know that I'm not talking out of my ass like some people do. But right there. Now, this act took in effect September 1st, 2025. What I was reading to you guys, now that you guys can see it, on D, a political subdivision, City of Eagle Pass, shall post each severance agreement in a prominent place on the political subdivision's internet website. Now, another one that's interesting, a requirement that severance pay that is paid from tax revenue may not exceed the amount of compensation at the rate at the termination of employment The executive employee would have been paid for 20 weeks. 20 weeks. 20 weeks equates to 5 months of pay. Now let's go and check back again. Sorry about that. Now let's go check back again the website and let's see how much David Salcedo was getting paid. This is how you do it, guys. You go to the government, you go to their website where that severance pay is posted. Go to the finance. That's another story to have. You go to reports, annual financial budgets. This is just this fiscal year that's gonna get released. So we want to go to 2024, 2025. Let's go to the bridge department. The bridge, as well, maybe you guys don't know, but the bridge department is actually a franchise which is allowed to gain or make money. So we're looking right now, we're looking to see how much was budgeted for the bridge director. Sorry if I'm moving a little quick. We want to move this along and make sure you guys get this information. There you go. So according to this, in 2024, 2025, the bridge director was paid $86,057. Why is that important? Because severance pay, I want y'all to remember that, $86,000, right? Now let's go back to what we were talking about. Oh, sorry, guys. Did y'all see that? Just so y'all know where I'm getting this information, Bridge Operations Manager, the BOM, he makes 86,000 right here. So, I mean, he's around that. It may not be the exact that, but we're going to call it 86,000. So he was making 86,000, right? How much was he paid in severance? 40,000. He was paid 40,000 in severance. That is almost half. That is almost half, right? There is 52 weeks in a year. You can only pay 20,000 as per the new law that was passed. Let's go back just so you guys know and get all the information. Again, we are the most educated, the most intelligent, the best, have the best sources, you all experienced in this. We know where to look. We're resourceful. This is stuff you don't get from anyone else, guys. You just get commentary and opinions. We show you the facts. The fact is, let's bring this up on screen for you so you can see what the law says. We're not making stuff up here or giving you an opinion. We're showing you the facts. A requirement that servants pay that is paid from tax revenue may not exceed the amount of compensation at the rate at the termination of employment. The executive employee would have been paid for 20 weeks. So the compensation cannot reach more than what he would be paid for 20 weeks, guys. 20 weeks, let me see. What's 40,000? 86, that's almost half. So, quick math here. It's not necessarily the correct one, but, or, exact. That's the word. But if you get paid 52 weeks out of the year, you get paid 86,000. What's half of 52, guys? 26? So half of 52 is 26 weeks. Half of 86 is 43. Wow. This is actually nearing a huge, huge violation. Now, I don't want to give you the incorrect math here, but if he's receiving $46,000 a year is 52 weeks. Half of that is 26 weeks. At 26 weeks, he would have gone compensated 43,000. They're saying he cannot surpass 20 weeks of compensation. He got 40,000. That is very close to violating SB 2237 that was effective September 1st of 2025. Not only did the city violate not posting the severance pay and how much he was paid on their website, they very, very nearly are violating. Now, I have to put the pencil on here, right? And I'm just doing a rough estimate here, rough estimate. But 52 weeks, he gets paid 86,000. Half of that is 26 weeks, and he gets paid 43. There's about 6 weeks difference and $3,000 difference. I don't know. It really seems, I can't tell you exactly without having a calculator, and maybe I wasn't prepared with that, but it seems very close. The city may have violated that 20-week pay. It seems very close, and we'll work on this to get you all the information once we get the official records released, so we know exactly the timing and everything. But that's very close for the city of Eagle Pass to cut it off and giving them 40,000, almost half an annual salary, guys, for being there 8 months. That they released this severance package to this guy, David Salcedo, the former bridge director, who has a shady past in dealing with public funding. Wow. City of Eagle Pass, we have problems. We have some major, major problems. Guys, that is all the time we have today. We just hit the 2 hour, or just about to hit the 2 hour mark. We appreciate every single one of you guys for logging on. We do want to give a shout out real quick to our sponsors. Our sponsors, Stephanie Valdez, our State Farm advocate, our State Farm person here in Eagle Pass. Hit her up. It is September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. Stephanie Valdez with State Farm would love to quote you on your life insurance, just to make sure to give your family some peace of mind. Guys, if you guys want to take care of your pets, Viva K9 Dog Training, Grooming, and Boarding Center is available at 1388 Williams. Their phone number is 830-335-2111 because happy dogs make a happy home. Our other sponsors that we want to spotlight today before we end our podcast is AT&T. Guys, they have a special. Some of the perks already dropped off. You need to run soon to your nearest AT&T store. They have 5 bring your own device lines for $90 a month. That is insane. I know if you guys are with T-Mobile the way I am right now, I am paying way over $300 a month for the less lines that AT&T is offering. This week, I am going to go hit up David at the AT&T store, David Martinez, and see what I can get for this awesome deal. 5 bring your own device lines, only $90 a month. Again, some of the perks are falling off, so you need to run into your AT&T store, get a hold of David Martinez working at the AT&T store, let him know the Maverick Times sent you to get a great deal on your cell phone service. Another spotlight for our sponsors, Mauricio's Trucking and Hauling, guys. They deal with base or caliche, gravel, river sill, landscaping stone. Call or text them. They work weekends, guys. They'll help you anytime we get some heavy rain with a muddy driveway. After storms, many driveways need fresh dirt, rock, and base caliche delivered straight to you guys. Best thing about them, they work the weekends, guys. So you'll be able to be there at your house to observe the superb service that Mauricio's Trucking and Hauling can provide you all. Their numbers are 830-968-9461, 830-319-0725, and 830-421-6811, guys. I cannot stress, guys, these are the people that support the Maverick Times, and we want you guys to go out and support them as well. They're the ones that make these podcasts possible. So please go out and support them. Again, Stephanie Valdez, September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. She could be reached at 830-773-1802. And Stephanie Valdez is our friendly State Farm insurance provider. Go ahead and visit her at her location or give her a call. I do want to share a great experience that I had in Mexico with GT Auto Parts. Guys, I was in Mexico. Again, we go to Mexico for many things. Things are cheaper over there. I have a big family, so I got to take advantage of that stuff. We were left with an unfortunate car situation. But, thanks to GT Auto Parts, great pricing, great service. They were able to fix our problem, our issue with our car. They're right next to Pollo Loco there in Piedras Negras. We hate some Pollo Loco, delicious food, but they had our car up and running in about an hour. And great service out there. We like to spotlight services, whether it's from Piedras Negras or here locally in Eagle Pass, that go the extra mile for our customers. And we just wanted to share that with you as our community. And if you're ever in any need as far as it goes with car service that you need, they do everything. They do tires, car parts, suspension, things that your vehicle may need. Go ahead and hit them up. They're ready for your service, and they would absolutely love to assist you guys. We do have a new business out there, guys. Shout out to them, Eagle Pass Jump. They had a soft opening just recently, but if you guys want to check them out on Facebook, Eagle Pass Jump, they are available to assist you guys with some entertainment that is a little hard to get here in Eagle Pass. To have a good time anywhere you'd like. Hit up Eagle Pass Jump, guys. Excuse me. That's all we have for today. We thank you guys for staying on. We know it was a little bit long of a podcast. There's a lot of information here, and we appreciate you sticking to the end. If you guys do me a favor, please share this podcast, like this podcast, drop a comment to see what you think about the $40,000 of your taxpayer funding that was given out to David Salcedo, the former bridge director. And what else do you think about the city not posting the severance package in a prominent area on their city controlled website as they should have, with SB 2237 being effective September 1st, 2025? Guys, that's all the time we have for today. We appreciate you guys. Again, share this post. We need to distribute this information. You guys need to be aware of the situations that are happening in our community. And we are glad, we are humbled by your guys' presence on our podcast that shatters anybody else that's out here doing what we're doing, giving you the truth, nothing but the truth. So help us, God. Um, and again, I can't say this enough. We are experienced in what we do. We've been doing this for quite some time, since our Rising Texan days. We're resourceful, and more than anything, we bring you the facts straight, with the tickets or the receipts, as y'all young people like to say. So we appreciate y'all joining us tonight. This is the Maverick Times. I'm Isaac T. Reese. This was episode 55, and finding out what the servant's pay was for former bridge director David Salcedo. We'll catch you later. Thank you for tuning in.